The next FBU Freshman All-American Bowl invitee that we are going to bring onto the show is another strong linebacker. This linebacker is actually from the hotbed of Gwinnett down in Georgia, part of that GFL Youth Football League, a powerhouse program, powerhouse youth league down there. We welcome to the show tonight Chase Lamb. Chase, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing fantastic, Chase. So let's just hop right in here. It looks like you just got done with football practice. You guys have practice tonight?
Yes, sir. Just got done about 45 minutes ago.
And how's your season going so far?
It's been a little rough. We've been through a few losses, but we're looking forward to this next week to try to get the win.
Hey, every week is 1-0, right? That's the goal. So, Chase, tell us a little bit, being another student athlete from Gwinnett who's now going to be a part of the FBU Freshman All-American Bowl. What does it mean to you to be named to the game and be one of these freshman All-Americans?
It means a lot. Not many people get the opportunity to go compete with the best in the nation. So when you get that chance, you have to just leave it out there and go for it.
100%. I mean, you gotta attack it. You gotta take advantage of the opportunities in front of you. When we sent out your invitation and you found out that you were selected, what were you doing? Were you at home? Were you hanging out? Were you at school? Where were you when you found out that you were going to be playing down in the Paradise Coast this December?
I was actually in my last class at school, and I just checked my phone, and then I got a text from my dad saying send the picture and everything. It was like congrats, and I was just surprised. I was thrilled.
That's a fun thing to hear while you're in school. I'm sure you were pumped up. So you've had a little bit of experience, obviously, with FBU. You were a part of the FBU Top Gun Showcase, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what was that experience like down in Florida?
It was fun. It's nice to compete with a bunch of different variety of talent from just across the globe. So yeah, it was cool, and the coaching was phenomenal. I learned a ton of
that's what you're going to get at Top Gun, right? You're going to get coaches from all across the country, and more importantly, what you're going to get at the Freshman All-American Bowl is you're going to get competition from across the country, much like you had at Top Gun. So, Chase, tell us a little bit. You play the linebacker position. Who do you kind of look up to, or who do you maybe mold your game after when it comes to the linebacker position? Maybe a current college athlete or NFL athlete that you like to mold your style after.
I would probably say Luke Kuechly. Just his knowledge for the game and filling the gaps and making big plays. That's who I look up to.
Luke Kuechly is one of the best that's ever done it, that's for sure. And I think you said something really great right there is one of the things that made Luke so special was his mind and his ability to understand and attack the game from a mental perspective. So it's good to hear that a young student athlete like yourself already appreciates the importance of the mental side. So, Chase, the game is roughly, right around 8 weeks away. What are you most looking forward to down in the Paradise Coast this December?
Just competing, getting to meet new people, play with new people. It's going to be fun.
I promise you that it will be fun and the competition will be great. But everyone, for those of you that are watching at home, hopefully you've had the opportunity here to get to know Chase Lamb a little bit better. Definitely check out his highlights, view his Twitter, check out his handle. And Chase, we really appreciate you joining the show tonight, and we'll see you down this December 21st for the FBU Freshman All-American Bowl. Thanks.
So, thank you.
And now we'd like to welcome one of the most electric linebackers in the country from the great state of Washington, Hayden Murphy, to this episode of FBU Huddle. Hayden, how you doing?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. Looks like you're still in school right there. You still you hanging out at the high school right now?
Yeah. My dad teaches.
I like it. So Hayden, tell us a little bit about what it means to be selected to the 2020 FBU Freshman All-American Bowl down in Naples, Florida.
I'm super excited about it, and I'm obviously happy to play football. Love playing football, all that stuff. But I also am just happy to see where I match up against all the other great players that are going to be playing in this game.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to really see how you stack up against other players that are of your caliber from across the country. So where were you? You know, what were you doing when you found out that you were actually getting the invite to play in this year's game?
So I was home alone at the time. I was making something to eat. I don't remember what, but my dad texted me and was like trying to make me scared and all that stuff. He was like, I got an interesting email today, like trying to get me to like get all riled up and think I was in trouble. And I was like, well, who was it from? He wouldn't tell me. And then I was like, oh, was it from FBU? He's like, maybe. So I knew automatically because he's just terrible at lying. So that I got selected for this. And I kind of freaked out about it then, like home alone and just like jumped around and stuff like that. And then they got home. My parents got home from shopping, I think. And they were like, you got selected, all that. And I was like kind of playing it cool because I already freaked out and was like, yeah, cool. All that. And yeah.
Well, it sounds like it was a good surprise from the parents in terms of the email that came through. But so, Hayden, just tell us a little bit too. You know, you've got some experience with FBU. Obviously, going to our camps, going to Top Gun is the best way to potentially get an invite. You were at our Top Gun showcase, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
and what was that experience like for you?
It was really fun. We originally went to go to the Seattle camp, but it got shut down. So we got invited to the Top Gun camp, and we were heading down there after talking about it for a while, and we're just really excited. And it was a really fun experience, and I loved every second of it. Well,
we're certainly glad that you came, and obviously it helped you, you know, get this invitation. You know, our ability to see you in person and get our eyes on you at the FBU Top Gun Showcase was a big factor, obviously, in us extending the invitation to the game. So, Hayden, for some of the people watching, who would you almost say that your game compares to, you know, when it comes to a current college or NFL player? Is there somebody that you kind of mold your style and your game personality after?
I wouldn't like say that I like can play like them, but I look up to a linebacker, Ray Lewis. He's my favorite linebacker, and I like all of his inspirational stuff and his story and all that, and I want to be like him someday.
I love it. Ray Lewis is certainly one of the best to ever do it, if not the best to ever do it at the linebacker position. So that's certainly somebody from an on-field perspective to look up to. Now, Hayden, we're only, you know, a few short weeks away from being down in the Paradise Coast for the FBU Freshman All-American Bowl. What are you looking forward to most this December?
Oh, definitely getting to play, because I haven't been able to play any football for like a long time. It's been like months ever since, like, I think I haven't played football since I was at the Top Gun camp, like actual competitive football. So it's been a long time. So
we'll make sure that we help you scratch that football itch and provide some great competition. We'll look forward to seeing you compete down there with some of the other top freshmen across the country. But Hayden, really appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for the time, and we'll see you down in the Paradise Coast this December. We are now welcome to the show from one of the best young defensive backs from the state of North Carolina. We welcome to the show tonight FBU Freshman All-American selection, Brody Barnhardt. Brody, how you doing?
I'm good, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Look, you know, with the season in full swing here, right, you know, obviously you've been invited and selected to play in this game. Tell us a little bit about what it means to you to be named an FBU Freshman All-American.
It's an honor, honestly, to be invited to this. Just ready to get after it with the best players.
100%. I mean, that's the key to the game, right? You get the opportunity to come down to Naples and play with some of the best competition across the country. You know, currently, you know, you guys are in season. So how's your season currently going? What have you guys been able to do thus far in 2020?
It's going really well. We're 2-0 right now. We got a game this week, big game this week. Play one of the top teams in our conference, so we're about to get that dub.
I love it. I love it. The confidence for the dub. I love it. So, you know, Brody, What were you doing? Where were you when you found out that you were actually going to be invited down to the FBU Freshman All-American Bowl?
I just came back from practice, and my parents were sitting in the living room, and they just told me. I was really excited. So.
That's probably some of the best news you've ever gotten from your parents when you get home from school. That's one of those good talks. So, Brody, you've had some experience, I believe, with Football University, attending Top Gun Showcase, attending some of our regional camps. Those are really the best way to get invited to the FBU Freshman All-American Bowl. Talk to us a little bit about the experiences that you've had at camp and at Top Gun and how that's gotten you better.
The experiences are really good. There's some of the best players around, whether you're Top Gun or regional. The coaches are phenomenal. They teach you a ton of stuff while you're going to them. So, it's always good to just go out there and learn new things from them and compete against other people.
And that's the biggest thing, right, is always picking up a new trick, a new technique, right, learning from an experienced but different coach every time you go to a camp. So, with some of those techniques and tricks that you've learned, when you look at the college game or the NFL game today, who is a player at the defensive back position that you really like watching and maybe that you kind of mold your style after a little bit?
Brady Breeze from Oregon is a big guy that I like to watch and mold some of my styles from. He's just a great player on and off the field. I follow him on all of his social medias. He's just a good person.
All right, following one of those Oregon Ducks. So, similar to, Mr. Breeze out in Oregon, what's something that the people that are going to be watching the FBU Freshman All-American Bowl can expect from you as a player? Is it physicality? Is it quickness? Is it ball hawk? What's some of your best strengths?
I would say physicality, being quick. I can get to the ball really good. I'm just good at covering ground and everything. So I think definitely covering ground would be the main thing.
You're going to need to cover a lot of ground down there because we're going to be bringing some of the best wide receivers in the entire country down there for you to get your hands on. So this December, when we finally get down to Naples and we get to the Paradise Coast and have the opportunity to get it on, what are you most looking forward to? Is it the beach? Is it the vacation? Or is it the competition? What most excites you?
Definitely the competition. I just want to put out what I can, show the world what I can do on the field.
Well, I think you're going to be able to represent Providence Day in the state of North Carolina pretty well down in the Paradise Coast this December 21st for the 2020 FBU Freshman All-American Bowl. Brody, we really appreciate you joining us, and we look forward to seeing you down there for one of the biggest and best all-star games in the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, we've had a lot of student athletes and guests from the Southeast, from the state of Texas, but now it's time to bring the Midwest to the party. Welcoming now to FBU Huddle is one of the brightest, sharpest defensive backs in the entire country from the great state of Illinois, Marion Stewart. Marion, how you doing tonight?
Good.
Well, good. You just get a fresh haircut. You're looking good right there.
Thank you.
I like it. Hey, so Marion, you're one of the top 60 players in the country. That's what it means when you get invited to the FBU Freshman All-American Bowl. What does it mean to you to be one of those top players in your graduating class and play in this game?
It's just an accomplishment. It feels good. Have that chip on my shoulder and know that I'm putting Illinois on my back and putting a spotlight on class 2024 in Illinois.
I like it. Look, you're going to bring Illinois to the forefront down in the Paradise Coast. That's what I'm hoping to see down there, a little Midwest love. So, Amarion, as a defensive back, is there a certain player, whether it's in college or in the pros at the NFL level, that you kind of look at and say, I really look up to him. I like the way he plays, or my style and skill set is very similar to him. Is there a player out there?
Well, as a defensive back, not really. I just have my own style and play my own way. So not really anybody I look up to as a DB in the NFL.
Do you have a favorite defensive back in the league currently?
Probably Probably Patrick Peterson, OG player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patrick Peterson's been in the league for quite some time. All right, so if you like Patrick Peterson and want to have a career like him, you'll be in good shape. So, you know, what is something that the fans down in Naples, as well as those that are going to be tuning in and watching the game, watching the FBU Freshman All-American Bowl live, what can they expect to see from you on the field? What type of player are you?
I'm just like, I play good, look good, play all out, and then they just expect me to go crazy.
Look good, play good. I like that analogy. That goes back to the old Deion Sanders prime time. So, Marion, what are you most looking forward to when you get down to the Paradise Coast? You get down to Naples. What are you most looking forward to when you get there? Is it the weather, right? Is it the sunshine, or is it the competition and some of the guys you're going to be going up against?
The competition, most definitely.
It's going to be some of the best competition down there for sure, and we're looking forward to watching you bring the Midwest down with you and putting Illinois on your back and keeping them on the map. So we look forward to seeing you down to the Paradise Coast this December 21st. Marion, thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
We are now joined by the director of recruiting for the Freshman All-American Bowl down in Naples, Florida, Anthony Williams. Anthony, how you doing this go-round?
And I'm doing good. I'm glad we still have football. I'm watching my Niners beat up on your Patriots right now, so today is a good day.
Hey, it's never a bad day for everybody outside of Massachusetts when New England's taking some shots. They've won a few times.
You guys have won for a solid decade and a half. I think you're going to be okay.
Yeah, I think they'll be okay. Let's chat about some student athletes who are hoping one day to be playing on Sunday. Let's start with an exciting young linebacker from the state of Washington, Hayden Murphy.
Yeah, so thanks a lot, Matt. So, Hayden Murphy is a kid that came to the Freshman All-American game from Top Gun invite. I remember seeing this kid in July back in Naples. Obviously, we didn't have pads on. He's very good playing in space. Understands man his own concepts, and it was finally good to see some film of him, even though it's from 8th grade in full pads. The kid's got good size. He plays both inside and outside linebacker. I love that he knows how to get off blocks and affect the run game. He's very physical. He's a solid tackler. And like I said, I love the fact that he can play both inside and outside and plays in good position on both of those. So he is a kid to keep an eye on once he gets down to Florida. Plays some other positions too, so he can catch the ball, he can run. You see him here lined up at tailback, and he's played a little bit of running back and tight end. I saw him line up at receiver. So me for the last few years. I love linebackers. As a former linebacker and linebacker coach, I love linebackers that can play a lot of different positions. So I'm excited about having Hayden on the roster.
Yeah, I think the great thing about Hayden too, we can kind of see here is, he's got great size, right? Yeah. And I think as he continues to develop athletically, the potential for Hayden is really unlimited. We don't know, maybe down the road he's going to have his hand in the ground, at D end or where he'll ultimately end up. But what strikes you initially, I think, is just the sheer, height and weight of this young man.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think I have him listed at about 6'1.5", 6'2", about 200 pounds. So he's already got really good, high school, varsity, and college size right now. I'm most looking forward to seeing him play. You look at the film here, and he's just bigger than everybody else. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how he does down in Naples against guys his own height and weight and size and ability. I think he'll step up and surprise a lot of us about how what his upside can look like down the road.
Certainly excited about Hayden Murphy. Great breakdown, Anthony. Now let's talk about same side of the ball, but let's shift positions, go to defensive back, and talk a little bit about a prospect out of the state of North Carolina, Brody Barnhardt.
Well, Brody is a kid that I think is really going to shine well down in Naples. He is physical, as you can see here in the run game. I love DBs that affect the run game. And then you're going to see a shot here pretty quickly. Great ball skills, cover skills down the field. So he's got the range to play that safety, play that corner. And then this play here tells you a lot about this kid and why I like him a lot. Just, physicality, sending a message when a receiver comes over the middle that this is my area and not yours. And so he's got great hands. He's got all the different skills you want out of being a defensive back. He's got good footwork, good coverage skills. He can make plays against the run game, physical in the back half, good ball skills. And there's a lot of film of him playing offense. And this is a kid that, if he does get his ball, his hands on the ball during the game, he's going to make a big play happen. So I'm really happy that Brody has joined us down in Naples.
It wasn't a lot of clips on Brody that we just saw on film, but I think if you're one of the wide receivers that's coming down to Naples, Florida, you might be a little scared right now. You can see the physicality with which he plays with, and man, that lick across the middle right there. We're certainly excited for him to bring that type of energy and physicality down to the Paradise Coast. Let's keep moving on. Let's keep talking about some of our other student athletes that are going to be down there. Let's talk a little bit now about Chase Lamb, another young, exciting prospect. I mean, he has been making waves in the state of Georgia. So why don't you show us a little bit about why Chase jumped off the screen and earned his invite to the Paradise Coast?
So here's the thing about Chase Lamb is, once again, a linebacker who's a utility. He can play inside and outside. He's physical. Once again, you've heard me say this over and over, Matt. Love kids that understand the linebacker, take on blocks, get off blocks, and make plays on the ball carrier, and he does that. The thing I was impressed about Chase, he was down also at Top Gun. A lot of people like Anthony, why is Top Gun kids get all these invites? Because we can see them against high-level competition. And the thing for me is that as a linebacker, he plays good in space because we weren't doing any tackling drills out in Top Gun. But now seeing him, in full pads, he plays downhill. He's a good tackler. He's physical. He's smart. He can set the edge when he's playing outside. He's smart on the inside. Once again, takes on blocks, gets off of them, as you see here, and affects the play. Gets back in coverage here and makes an interception. So I'm excited for Chase. He's everything I thought he was going to be once I saw him in pads, and I'm excited to see him down at Paradise Coast. Not
surprised to see another physical student athlete being selected. Looks like there's some heritage down there in Georgia with Chase. He's certainly going to be one to keep an eye on, and will probably be a big-time difference maker during this year's game. Want to bring things up north a little bit. We've had somebody from North Carolina tonight, somebody from Washington, somebody from Georgia. Let's bring it to the Midwest and talk about a young student athlete from the great state of Illinois, Amarion Stewart.
Amarion Stewart is an exciting playmaker who could play receiver in this game, could play DB, could play running back. A lot of the clips you're going to see are of him on offense, and you can just look at his vision, his speed and acceleration, his big playability is easily why I selected him for this game. The kid can play a lot of positions at a high level. He's got tremendous size, flexibility, quickness, acceleration. He's got good speed. He's got tremendous hands. Obviously, those kind of skills translate to be an elite player both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. But he's going to be playing DB, but don't be surprised if you see him line up on offense down in Naples when we get him down there here next month and a half. But I'm so impressed with this kid, and I can't wait to see. I can tell you, Matt, the DBs and the linebackers and receivers in this game are probably some of the best, and we've had some really good ones, but there's a lot of good kids that are coming down here. It'll be good to see how Amarion plays coming down from the Midwest down into the big sunshine state of Florida.
Yeah, I think that's a great point right there, Anthony. The skill set position that we've seen thus far, while it's been great in the past, it could be even better this year. And watching this young man's film, I'm calling it now, Anthony. This is my early prediction pick for MVP of the game. I love this young man, Mr. Stewart from Illinois. I think he's a big-time player. So there you got it. That's my prediction.
For sure. I don't think he'll let you down on that, Matt. The kid has got big-time playmaking ability. I'm excited for him, and I know that he'll come down and make some big-time plays and introduce his name to the world of recruiting.
100%. Well, Anthony, thank you so much for coming on and letting the world know a little bit more about these student athletes and showing them why they were selected to the game based on their on-field performance. So we appreciate the time, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Matt.